Origin of lunar dynasty. Brihaspati Tara Chandra Buddha from Greek history. Greeks called Prajapatis, Protogonos, born to King Pracheta and his wife Suvarna, spread all over Asia, Europe and started multiplying their races. One such was Angiras, distorted as Cronus in Greek, whose elder son was Brihaspati or Guru, distorted as Zeus. Puranas in India were preserved orally for many years and later composed or edited between 6000 BCE and 1800 BCE. One of the attributes of Purana is Vamshanucharitam, which gives a detailed description of the dynasties of kings who lived and ruled this world, mostly the great Surya Vamsham or the solar dynasty and the Chandra Vamsham or the lunar dynasty. Homer composed Iliad around 8th century BCE, which is at least 1000 years after the last Purana was edited in India. Greek Orphic tradition maintained history without proper writing. So many names, places, incidents, relations must have been distorted over years. Until Christianity took over Europe, Jupiter was the chief deity of Roman state religion throughout the Republican and Imperial eras, and Thursday was a holiday as a mark of respect for him. This Zeus is same as Brihaspati in Puranas, who was also called Guru, and his weekday being Thursday, Guruvar. His followers, kings, commanders, etc. were Devas or Suras or Adityas or Aditi's sons in Puranas. Similarly, people in Middle East from Turkey till Iran were Daityas as they followed Shukracharya and had holiday on Friday, Shukravar. They were Daityas, Diti's sons or Asuras in Puranas. Their kingdom was Assyrian, which had capital as Assur, which is in modern-day Iraq. This name sounds similar to Asura. Even today, people in Middle East and their cult followers across the world use the Shukra as Shukriya to thank others or show gratitude and follow Friday holiday tradition. Both Brihaspati and Shukra were disciples of Angiras. But as Angiras was showing partiality towards his son Brihaspati, the more talented Shukra parted ways. This Shukra is the same as Ahura Mazda, who is the creator deity in Zoroastrianism. He is the first and most frequently invoked spirit in the yasna. The Avestan language word yasna literally means oblation or worship. The word is linguistically and functionally related to Vedic Sanskrit yajna. Both Shukra and Ahura Mazda are represented as a man on white horse in Indian Puranas and Persian history. Trojan War is Deva and Asura war. Helen of Troy is Tara, wife of Brihaspati. Zeus and the Olympians fought with Titans in a 10-year war called Titanomachy. This sounds similar to Taraka Maya war described in Padma Purana. Today, Troy is Hisarlik in Turkey, and people living in its east side towards Asia fought war with the king of Sparta, Greece. Mahabharata, Shiva Purana, Vishnu Purana, etc. mention that Brihaspati's wife Tara went to the house of Chandra, Soma, and stayed with him. This Chandra is not the celestial body that appears in sky, but a human born to Maharshi Atri and Anasuya along with Dattatreya and Durvasa. Tara was attracted by Chandra, who abducted and made her his queen. Brihaspati, after multiple failed peace missions and threats, declared war against Chandra. The Devas sided with their teacher, while Shukra, an enemy of Brihaspati and the teacher of Asuras, aided Chandra. Similar story is written in Trojan War, which was waged against the city of Troy by the Achaeans, Greeks, after Paris of Troy took Helen from her husband Menelaus, king of Sparta. Historians mistakenly try to find similarities between Trojan War and Ramayana and assume that Greeks copied abduction of Sita by Ravana's story and rewrote it. But in fact, Trojan War story is actually the story of Tara eloping with Chandra and Sura-Asura war. Greek mythology says Hermes, Mercury or Buddha, is son of Zeus, Jupiter or Guru, born through his wife Hera, Tara. They omitted the Chandra episode here as Zeus raised the child. They also mixed up Helen of Troy story and assumed her as daughter of Zeus. Also, in Greek history, Zeus got mixed up with Indra, who had multiple sexual affairs. In fact, Zeus married his sister Hera. Helen of Troy story matches perfectly with Brihaspati Tara Chandra episode in Puranas. Paris and Helen had a son named Agnes, which means gentle according to British poet and novelist Robert Graves. Mercury is called Saumya in Vedic astrology, which also means gentle. The events of the Trojan War are found in many works of Greek literature and depicted in numerous works of Greek art, but there is no single authoritative text which tells the entire events of the war. Instead, the story is assembled from a variety of sources, some of which report contradictory versions of the events. The most important literary sources are the two epic poems traditionally credited to Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, composed sometime between the 9th and the 6th centuries BCE. Each poem narrates only a part of the war. If we relate those broken parts with Puranas, it can be concluded that the Thursday holiday army fought with Friday holiday army for a woman who chose lover over her husband. After Hermes, Mercury or Buddha grew up, he came to know that his biological father was not Jupiter but Chandra. He left home and went away. Skanda Purana states that Buddha came to Varanasi and set up a Buddheshwara Linga and also did tapasya before he met Ila, daughter of Vaivasvata Manu. They got married and had a son named Pururava, who started a new dynasty called Chandravamsham in the name of his biological grandfather. Thus, Suryavamsham and Chandravamsham became first cousins. Rudra, a disciple of Angiras, fought war with Brihaspati's side out of loyalty, says Vishnu Purana. Bhagavata Purana, Canto 9, Chapter 14, Shloka 6 states that Ashiva, because of affection for the son of his spiritual master, joined the side of Brihaspati and was accompanied by all the ghosts and hobgoblins. Here they confused mortal Rudra with Shiva. One can name his son after a god, but that does not make him god. It is claimed that naming weekdays over planets in astrology started with Sumerians and later continued with Babylonians and Greeks. This claim became popular because no Indian Purana or Itihasa mention weekday names. But Surya Siddhanta, written much earlier, includes Hora, which is a 1-hour division of the day starting from sunrise and goes in the order of Surya, Shukra, Buddha, Chandra, Shani, Guru, Kuja and repeats till sunrise of next day. Each day at sunrise starts with a Hora related to a Graha which is considered its weekday. Parashara Samhita, written much earlier than Mahabharata by father of Vyasa, mentions weekdays clearly. It states that Hanuman was born on a Saturday with moon in Purva Bhadra Nakshatra and he found Sita in Ashoka Vatika on Tuesday morning. The Greeks named the days of the week after the sun, the moon and the 5 known planets, which were in turn named after the gods Ares, Hermes, Zeus, Aphrodite and Cronus. Romans substituted their equivalent gods for the Greek gods Mars, Mercury, Jove, Jupiter, Venus and Saturn. The two pantheons are very similar. Germanic people generally substituted roughly similar gods for the Roman gods, Teu, Woden, Thor, Freya, but did not substitute Saturn. These Greek or Roman gods are just named after celestial bodies and they do not represent the actual planets. In fact, in Sanskrit, Graha is not just a planet but something that absorbs or sends gravitational waves. Recent studies concluded that planets in solar system send gravitational waves. Extension of Luna dynasty, Chandravamsham across Asia and Europe. Buddha and Ela had a son born on Mount Puru, so named him Pururava. He established a kingdom with capital at Pratishthan, modern-day Prayagraj, and his sons were Ayu, Amavasu, Vishwayu, Shrutayu, Shatayu, and Gridhayu. Ayu's son was Nahusha, who married Ashokasundari. Their sons were Yati, Yayati, Samyati, Ayati, Viyati, and Kriti. This Yayati married Devyani, daughter of Shukracharya, and also Sharmishta, daughter of Daitya king Vrishaparva. They had 6 sons, Yadu, Turvashu, Anu, Druhyu, Prachinvata, Puru, and 1 daughter, Madhavi. Each of these sons started their own branch of dynasties. Yadu started Yadava dynasty in which Vasudeva, Krishna, etc. were born, but due to curse of Yayati, they did not take up the throne. The leftover Yadavas, after drowning of Dwarka, travelled towards Middle East and were called Yahudis or Jews. Turvasu went towards west and started Mleccha or Yavana dynasty. His kingdom was Turvaski, which later became Turski and finally Turkey. Descendants of Turvasu, known as Turvasus, changed due to linguistic differences to Turvas, Tavras, Tambar, and Tomar. Due to political reasons, Tomars returned from west region to south through Central Asia and settled in areas around Delhi known as Indraprastha. Since they had come from west, they have been called Yavanas in Sabha Parva of Mahabharata. Tomar spread from Delhi to other places in search of better lands and came up to Bhind in Madhya Pradesh. In the 7th century, under the influence of new Hindu religion, some of the Tomars got inducted into Agnikula Rajputs. Rest who believed in old Vedic traditions remained in Jats. Kuru II, who was descendant of Emperor Bharata, started Kuru Vamsham and its descendants were Kauravas. The leftover Kurus after Kurukshetra war also travelled towards Middle East and became Qurayshis. For more information, click on the link